everybody, it's Cheyenne and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're gonna be talking about resumes. Woo! So I've gotten a few comments asking me, tips on how to make a resume or asking me to do a video on resumes. So I thought that I would print mine off and just go step by step with you guys and just show you how I make my resumes, or maybe give you some tricks, or if you've never made one before, maybe help you out making your first resume. So yeah, I'm gonna be throwing up little screenshots of just little sections on here. And of course, the information on here has been changed. It's not my actual phone number or my address. Yeah, I'm sure you all know why I wouldn't put that out on the internet. Let's get started. So the first thing that I feel is very important for a resume, if it's for dental assisting or a resume for anywhere, is to have a cover letter. Now, a cover letter, on the very top of it is gonna have your name, your address, your phone number, your email address, just all ways to contact you, just in case they need to or if they want to. Definitely wanna have many ways, and be making sure that you're checking your voicemails, you're checking your emails to see if they're asking for any more information, or if they're trying to schedule a working interview, whatever it may be. I also always put on my cover letter just a paragraph just explaining why I think I'd be a good fit for the office, whatever you want to put in there, experience, but mostly what are you going to bring to the office. So here is just an example of what I put on there. You also want to put what position you're wanting to apply for. So I would like to be considered for the position of dental assistant in your office. I believe my experience and hard work ethic and dedication would make me a good choice for this position. Just something along those lines. I also list some skills or following attributes I would bring to that dental office. Great communication skills. I've had dental outreach experience, time management skills. If you have a flexible schedule, I'm on time, I'm reliable, I'm honest, trustworthy, punctual, just things like that you'll want to say. That's gonna get their attention. Like they're all like, oh great, this person brings this, we're looking for this type of thing. I also just put on the very bottom of it, just thanking them for, taking the time to look at my resume. I mention again my cell phone number, and then yeah, you just say thank you and I hope to hear from you, basically. So your second page, I always put my name and my phone number at the top of that again, just so it's posted everywhere so they know how to contact me. And then this is going to be your professional summary. So this I will just put, again, I'm energetic, reliable, and self-motivated dental assistant, eager to learn and be part of an amazing dental team. Just something that's going to get their attention. Just a little sentence there about yourself or what you're going to bring to that office. Now, you want to put your skills down. Again, this can be personal skills, it can be certifications that you have. If you've worked on certain programs or dental programs, you want to put that in there. If you've had experience doing things outside of a clinic, like outreach, if you worked in private and clinics, just certain skills that you feel that you're going to bring. And now you want to get into work history. So I've listed some, examples of work history, but if this is your first dental assisting job, you don't need to go into details about all the jobs you've had up to this. I would just put maybe jobs that you've had maybe a higher position at, like if you were a manager somewhere, an assistant manager, if you worked for a very long time somewhere. So say you worked for like 5 years at some place, that's great because it shows that you're dedicated, you work at, for long periods of times at a place. But don't put, a bunch of little jobs that you had when you were a teenager, things like that. Just things that are relevant to dental, or jobs that you've been there a long time for, or that maybe you had a higher position at. Also, for the work history, you want to make sure that these places that you've worked at prior, that you put a little bit of a description of what you did, especially if it was your practicum site for school. Say, I did some sterilization, I helped clean rooms. Especially if you're a new assistant, they want to make sure that you're comfortable in a dental, office. You could say that you scheduled patients, whatever that may be. You also could put in here, stuff that you did in school. I'm not sure about other dental assisting programs, but when I was in school, I did do a lot of volunteering. So I worked on like a mobile clinic, you know, for a few weekends and just helped work on there. I did a lot of practicum sites, put on there, you know, offices that you went and watched or observed. You can put whatever you want on there, just something that they can look at and be like, okay, she has some experience in the dental field. Even if it's not 100% working in the dental field, it just looks good to have some kind of experience so they don't think that you've never stepped foot in a dental office before. And then your third page is going to be your education. Okay, so that's gonna be, you know, your high school you graduated from, the college, and then also any of your certifications. So if you have your dental assistant certification or certificate, if you're EFTA, if you're Sealants, if you're Soft Reline, radiology, all that's gonna go right here. And I actually put a separate thing for qualifications. So that's everything that's gonna qualify you for this position. So your certifications and your EFTA, things like that. And then your references. So I put just, of course, a few fake references. But if you're fresh out of school, a really good reference to have is a teacher. Most schools will have a dentist that you work with, so maybe him, or if you had to go to a practicum site, the dentist that you worked with or an assistant there. Someone maybe in the dental field would be really, really great. But if you don't have that, get a former, you know, boss or manager. I really try to avoid family members or friends. And if you really don't have anybody and you have to put people down here, you can put friends, but don't put friend next to it. I would just put it there, and if they do call them, they can talk to them. But sometimes I feel it looks a little bad if you only have family members or friends as your references. So really try to get some people that you've worked with, especially if you have been in school. Even, you know, someone else in the dental assisting program with you would be a great reference. So yeah, that's about it for a resume. It is very important to make sure you, even if, I know a lot of things you email in or send in nowadays, but make sure you bring a hard copy with you to your interview. I have been asked for them at almost every interview that I've gone to. It's always nice to have a copy. You also want to bring a copy of your certifications or certificates, your dental assisting, your EFTA, radiology. Also, bring your social security number, your driver's license, all these things just in case they do hire you or if they want to set up a working interview. Because if they set up a working interview with you, sometimes they have to put you into their system, especially if they're going to pay you, they have to get you on payroll. So they're going to need your social security number and all that type of stuff. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. And, you know, again, with the interview process, this is just one portion of it, but if you can have a really good resume that's going to grab their attention and they're going to look at it and be like, wow, this person has this, this, and this, then fantastic. And I'm not saying, you know, I've definitely like added a few things on here to make myself sound a little bit, what's the word? Not better, but you want to grab their attention. I'm not saying to be dishonest. Don't say you have a flexible schedule if you do not have a flexible schedule, because they're going to figure that out. But, you know, just talk yourself up. List a bunch of skills. Don't be afraid to put a bunch of skills on there and say how great you are, because once they meet you, they're going to realize how great you are anyways. Also, on my resumes, I don't put what type of wage I'm expecting or anything like that. It's strictly just about you and what you're bringing to the office, okay? You're just trying to get a call back. You're trying to get an interview. Don't worry about the wage and all that type of stuff at this point. You're basically trying to sell yourself and trying to get them to want to call you. So just do your skills, your background, what you're gonna bring to that office, and when they meet you, you can discuss the wage and all that type of things, or all that type of stuff. I also don't do any fancy text or anything like that. I keep it very simple. You want it to be easy to read. You don't want them to be squinting or like trying to figure out what certain words are because you use a fancy script. You also want to make sure you have spacing and your grammar is correct and you're not using like texting language. I know it sounds silly, but when I was a manager at Subway, we would get resumes or applications all the time and people would abbreviate words, and it was just like, It just wasn't professional. You wanna make sure you're just using a simple text like Times New Roman or whatever it's called. And you wanna make sure that the font is large enough so it's easy to read. And that you're going through and checking on your grammar and your punctuation and that it looks extremely professional. No abbreviations or things like that. Well, thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys want to copy this by word, go for it. I won't be offended, nor will I ever find out. So I'm sure when I made this years ago, I probably went on Google too and looked for things to put in here. But yes, good luck on your resume. Good luck on your first interview. If you are having your first dental interview, don't stress about it. You'll do great. Just be confident and know your worth, and just be open-minded and willing to learn, and you'll succeed and be a great dental assistant. All right, well, I hope you guys found this helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.